Okay, so if you're
Okay,
just
so
joining
if
us
you're just
now,
joining
we
us
really
now, we really
apologize for
apologize for
the hitch
the
the
hitch
last time.
the last
My
time.
name is Julia
My
John
name is
Ian.
Julia John Ian,
I'm the
and I'm
co-founder
the
of
co-founder of
Academic Hive for
Academic
African
Hive for
Scholars.
African
I'm a young
Scholars.
scholar
I'm
just like you
just
in my
like
early
you in my
career,
early
and
career.
today we are bringing
Today,
up
we are
Abdullahi
bringing up
Aborode
Abdullahi
for an
Aborode for an
insightful
insightful
session
session
called
called
Scholar Connect.
Scholar Connect.
So today's
So
topic for
today's
Scholar
topic
Connect
for
is
Scholar
how
Connect
to
is
get published
get
early
published
in your career.
in your career.
What
What
motivated this topic
motivated
was
this
that
topic
we
was that
observed that so many people
so
feel
many
that
people
until you
feel
get
that
to do
until
a
you get to do
PhD
a PhD
before you can get published.
you get published.
They also feel
They
that
also feel that
they are too young,
too young
or
or
there's a lot of time for you to do a lot of things you
a lot
research.
of things to
So we are
research.
going to be hearing from
We're
Aborode
hearing from
himself.
Abdullahi himself.
How is he able to get more than 30 publications at such a young age? Like, I'm literally screaming right now. I can't wait to dive in already. Oh, please let me save you the hassle. So Aborode is here with us, and he was nominated as Academic Hive Young Scholar of the Month in August 2021, and
2021,
has a
and that's
fully
a
packed
fully
profile.
profile.
Being a delegate of Nigeria on the World Health Organization is no child's play. Being a delegate on UN global
On
issues
UN
in
global issues in
international
international
youth summits in Ghana. Oh my God, like I'm losing my breath already trying to mention all of it. So let's just go straight up, all right? It's amazing. Just show some love in the comments if you're here with us. Let's say welcome to Abdul. So welcome, Abdul.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate, even though the situation was kind of, hard, but I thank God that I was able to make it. And though it will be really very painful, to have a preparation and, that was a fucked up. And unfortunately, I need to skip out some of my meeting to make it today. And I know that we definitely do very fantastic today. So I'm very happy to be live today, and I thank everyone that really make it, and I'm very sorry for everyone that have come and have go, that are very sad, but fortunately I'm live, you can actually rewatch and listen to whatever I've said. I'm extremely humbly sorry. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure they've already
Yeah, I'm
accepted.
sure they've
I
already
can
accepted
see
it
the
already.
likes
I can see the
already. They
likes
are showing
already. They
love
are
already.
love already.
All right.
All
So
right. So,
Abdul, I'll start by
I'll start
congratulating
by
you
congratulating
personally for
personally
being
for
Academic
being
Hive
academic
Young
hype
Scholar of the Month.
follower.
But
But
how do
can I
you
know
feel being
you feel
named Young Scholar in
young
August?
scholar in
Like,
August?
were you
Yeah.
surprised
Are you
when it
surprised?
came to you?
Yeah, though I'm actually very surprised. I've been set. When you send a mail, I was so shocked because the first time I will ever know about academic F scholar was one of my professor from University of Carolina. He's my mentor, and then he's one of my backbone that trained me in research, and then he always sent a lot of opportunity for me, so for me to develop, to grow, to learn, to unlearn, because he always believed that learning is a process and you can't know everything in a day, even though we can't see everything today. So it's a continuation process that whatever you gain today, you utilize it in the future, you relearn another thing, you learn, you unlearn what you learned. So depend on the situation. So he sent me a conference that Academic Hive Scholar organized, and that is on research ethics and plagiarism. So the word plagiarism, I really love it, because that is actually common in academic world, and is on it is something that you cannot just afford. You can avoid it. It is very, very important to talk about it. So I'm Pyro looking down into the guest speaker to bring. I was actually in trail. I really want to learn, and now I attend the conference. I really asked a lot of questions that I really enjoyed. Fortunately, I was just shocked the following day that there was a mail that was sent to me that I was being recommended by this social prof, and I was like, wow, I was shocked. Yeah. So at the same time, I was happy that I was being recognized, because one of the benefits of you doing something productive and something impactful to the society, and also into the academic, scientific, and because I always make everything go in 3 dimensions: scientific, academic, and society. Because if you are dealing with scientists and you are dealing with scientific research and your scientific research is not impactful to the world, to the society, to the community, that means you are not doing anything yet. I couldn't call you, or I wouldn't call you a scientist, I will call you a researcher. So to me, I have the breed of becoming a scientist, and any of the research I always love to do, I always want it to reflect back to the society, that when the community or when the society member are talking about the selected thematic approach, they'll be able to implement some of what I've done or some of what I've did or what I've talked about. They'll be able to make a quote about it. So that is when you are doing something, you know. So to me, someone even asked me a question yesterday. Yeah, we were discussing, and what he said was actually so very intriguing. And he said, why nonsense? Why nonsense paper? Why did I have to read a nonsense paper? And I tell him there is nothing nonsense paper. Yeah, because you have to read before you write. And in the world where we are today, your novelty or your idea cannot be proven unless you have to make a reference to somebody or somebody that have did similar thing. And that is how the basis of the world is going now. So talking about, doing something, it has to be reflecting to the community. So I'm very happy that I was recognized.
We are coming to that. So let me just take you back.
All right.
From your profile, yeah, when you were recommended, we were taken aback. We were shocked, actually. We were surprised that such a young person was able to accomplish so much in academia. You are also the director for research at Swiss African Hub.
Yeah, exactly. Swiss Africa Hub, it's a hub for we bridge or we build women in STEM. That's what we do in Swiss Africa Hub. We find out that there is a large number of gap. We call it gap disparity in STEM, in woman involvement in STEM, and it's more or less like man is handling everything in STEM. Why? So women are, they actually, let me say, they are being bent down, in this situation. So what we do is that we build women in STEM right from undergraduate. So we build them in their focus, both in science,
Just like a
technology, engineering.
part-time young athlete.
Exactly. So that before they get into the future, they will have become a very, a robust and unshakable. Because I will go by a quote that said, if you build a man, yeah, you are building a home. But if you build a woman, you build a whole nation. So definitely. So once you
Okay,
can
so
build a
energy
woman,
is feeling really high right now, right? So thank God I'm in your
yeah, actually, when women they are being trained and they are put a lot of determination on what they really love. They are very very hard to be shaped on that line. So that is it. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we also see that you're a health researcher, you're a global health activist, you're a disease reduction scholar and advocate in general, a World Health Organization guardian, and a drug policy advocate. That's a lot. How are you able to accomplish all this as a young scholar?
Yeah, it's a process, and it doesn't happen one day. That is the first thing I do tell people. All the achievement, all the accomplishment, everything, it's a process and it doesn't happen one day. It starts from somewhere. And there's something about me is that I really love to make a lot of impact. And I never always, or let me say, I never give the room to uh, to make an escape of an opportunity for which I actually have pyro experiencing. If I lose an opportunity today, I'll replace it with 5 different opportunity tomorrow. At least 5 different opportunity. I'll search. So this is how I live my life, like lifestyle. So this is how it goes. Now talking to you see that I'm kind of being motivated. Yeah, and the motivation comes according to the situation that happened around me. And that is why someone asked me a question one day that in the future, will you able to defend all what you have achieved? I just laugh. Why I laugh is that as far as that thing doesn't happen or doesn't exist in again, that is when I will not be able to defend, because Anything I write is something that happened currently, is a current situation. Anything I talk is current situation. Anything I do is what is happening. And it's what I've already been written as a problem before. And part of it is when I'm talking about drug policy. I fully involved in drug policy in 2019. But what I do, I explore more further than people that have established themselves in drug policy. And what we do is that finding a gap. What is the gap? I took a specified area. Now, I love to make a recommendation. I love to put down strategy, policy, talk about what can we do? What is the solution? Because when people are talking about problem, I always get an headache. Now, let's talk about the solution to this problem. You talk about problem. What is the solution? Not only solution, the sustainable solution that can bring progressive effort to it. So what I do is that in my community, there are a lot of people that smoke or abuse drugs. Let me say, no, let me say drug abuse. Let me say the drug users. Yeah, that is what we say. Yeah, they are not abusers of drugs. They are drug users. It's the layman terminology and the society that term them an abuse. Yeah, so we call them a user.
Now, in the past, I'll call them drug abusers.
Yeah, yeah.
Drug users, not drug abusers. I hope the audience can hear this.
Yeah. So they are drug users. They are not drug abusers. So the statistic level and the increase in the drug users around us, especially in rural area in southwest Nigeria, had become they have established it as a job. That when you become a drug user, you become a thug. You become somebody that destroys the peace of the environment. You become protective measure to your community. That is a protective team. If any team from other community want to disrupt the peace of the community, you'll be in charge to protect such a community. Different motivates like that. So, but that doesn't really intrigue me. But what really shocked me most is that I went to Lagos, and when I go back to my state, which is Oyo, and I was shocked because I have mentees here that that do listen to me, because I used to talk about life experience and inspire them to improve their life. And then they used to call me master, because I really love reading book, and I always share my experience. So
Oh, we lost him. Attention, attention. Come up right now. Bringing him up right now again. I don't know what happened. So
yeah,
okay.
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right. So let me just say this. Impressive. You have a really impressive profile. Someone is asking if you're into economics.
yeah, not really. I'm not really down into economic like that, but I have bosses. I have mentors that are into economic, and I do help them like a research associate or assistant, because let me say I'm really talented when it comes to writing research. So
So you
there is
can
no
write the
aspect
multidisciplinary
that,
research.
yeah, I can't really write. As far as it's interdisciplinary, currently, if you want to join the team, they are working on they are working on two phases. Number one is gender disparity in improving the economic intervention on woman-based woman-based work ethics in Nigeria. That is, we find that the percentage, as reported by Nigerian Statistic Bureau, of women working is very far lesser than the man working. So, and when it comes to agricultural ethics, 75% of women they are the ones that are involved in agricultural ethics. Then the question has been raised is that do we actually commend them, or do agricultural sector actually recognize the impact of women? So the second one is the report about women involvement, yeah, in both formal and informal sector. If you search, according to CBN, Nigerian Bureau of Statistics in Nigeria, AFDP, that is Africa Bank Development, the last one I think is Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Federal Ministry of Finance. When you search for everything, yeah, nearly you find at least one data of woman gap and woman development or woman disparity. woman equality. Yeah, and which is a very slams on, on people that are collecting data, on people that archive data in the country. So that is another part. Anybody that is an economist can look into. It is a very problem, a big problem. That that one, when you are talking about health, we can call it surveillance and monitoring. So that is a part. Yeah.
So please, permit me to ask, how old were you when you first published an academic paper?
Yeah, my first publication was when I was in 21 going to 22 years. And it all starts um, before COVID-19. So number one is that then I used to write articles like essay, blog, newspaper, blogs and all like that. That's what I do write. And what caused that is that I am someone that that is being moved or that has been intrigued by the situation of my environment. And talking about that is, I will cite an example. If I go around my vicinity, I always bring the problem of, or any problem that I see, I bring it in a mood whereby I always want to implement a solution to it. And that is how idea comes, because research comes from an idea. So you cross-check your idea if it is actually real, or if it's something people have written before. What is the uniqueness? What is the diversity? What is the inclusion of the idea? So that is how I start. So I read papers a lot. I do read papers. I have more than thousands of subscription to different journals that I always get update from. They give me update about different issues that the paper, journals have published. So that day I was reading about that was the inception of COVID-19. So I was working in the airport then. That was during my NYC days, and we were talking. I was put into the let me say the entrance. Yeah, more or less like departure. So that day, the people, the pilot, everyone was discussing about the COVID-19. Yet it was not, available yet in Nigeria, and everyone was just talking about COVID-19. Then different people were talking about myth, fact, that unreal fact. Let me say, Then that day I was just breaking things for them. Everybody was shocked, like wow. Then there was an answer. That there was a question. When you discuss with people, when you argue, that is why what make a quality researcher is argument. If you cannot argue, if you cannot describe your point, making reference to it, you are not a quality researcher yet. And that is a problem whereby early researcher like us strive. You strive on to balance our our argument. Yeah, your argument must flow. So that day, I was asked a question, and the question is, what is the validity of the vaccine? And at the same time, is there any other solution that, has passed, the development of vaccine for H1V1, that is H1N1, that is the flu virus. So then we talk about what is the what is the most sustainable solution to this COVID-19 apart from the prevention. Like people are feeling unease using face masks. The lifestyle have changed. That's actually my first inception, is to first treat that part. Nigerian behavior towards COVID-19. That was published in HIR preprint. So Nigeria lackadaisical behavior. People behave, you know, uh,
Carefree,
on unreal. Like they're just like, I can keep using fixed marks. Yeah. So people doesn't believe that it's real, and they have their facts to back it up. Like the low transparency from the government. When you are There's something about the situation of a data reporting. When you are reporting a data, that is why journals nowadays are asking if your paper is or has data involvement. They will ask you about the source of the data, or you submit the data as part of supporting information. So that is because many people falsify data. So,
So
and
that's
if you are
that's
dealing
something
with,
interesting you have actually brought up right now. Yes.
yeah.
So if you're just joining us and you're into academia, please, that is a very important thing to take note of. Journals these days expect you to submit your paper with the data. If your paper is more than just a review paper, they expect that if it's a research paper that involves data, you should submit your data. So maybe we'll have another call sometime where we'll talk about how to um, um, publish our data, because these days they publish data.
Even
Yeah,
they even publish cover letter. Yeah, journal
exactly.
they publish data.
Exactly.
In this,
Okay.
because of when as an early researcher, you learn a lot. And how you learn a lot is when you start reading papers that they retract. You will see big professors being caught on falsification of data. And it's a slams, not on the face of the name of the person, but on the name of the institution or affiliation it with oath. That is number one. Then with the collaborators they collaborate with, everybody is in debt because bad news travel fast. The way your situation can be spread, you will never be imagined, because any in the future, if you want an employment, they will trace your background. Then there is no way whereby you can say they should expunge your retraction. Even if they expunge the retraction, it will still be there. That is something about me. I do tell people that comes to do research, you must be very calm. Be calm. There is nothing rush. Be calm,
Oh,
because if your name is
let's
on the
never
paper,
forget, right?
yeah, if your name is on the paper, it's forever. Even if it is a retract, if you expunge your name, it will still be in the data of Google that you have published something, but it has been retracted. So why not just calm down and listen to people that are well experienced? That is number one. Follow the guide. Then you have a very joyous lifestyle than being panic over, oh, I've did something bad and I might be caught in the future. Yeah, because that is how the back side of academics is very toxic that you
I can see
imagine.
that we actually have a lot to talk about. But I mean, I'm more curious right now. So how many academic publications do you have right now?
Yeah, right now, though I don't used to count it. Yeah, yeah, I don't count it because it really doesn't matter. What really matters to me is the way people see my paper and the way they feel about the paper and what they use my paper to do. Not about citation. I don't care about citation.
You're interested. Yeah. Types of
Yeah.
papers you're asking.
So right now, I think I have more than 80 papers right now. And then I have close to 160 citation and then currently, and uh, I have 2 books published, and then I have more than 15 chapters I contribute in, and I've attended and presented in numerous conferences, yeah, that I cannot count it. So that is my status today now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if if I'm the only one that is amazed. Like I have my mouth open. I don't know if I'm the only one, please. If I'm not the only one, please let me know in the comment. I'm not alone, because I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Oh my God, Ayomide, I can see your expression. Like, but I think you have really expressed the way I feel right now with this emoji. 80, more than 80 book chapters, 2 books. Okay. All
Conferences.
right, viewers, that's the bombshell. That's
All
the
right.
bombshell. Abdullahi, you have published such number of papers at such a young age. Like, I'm literally screaming, oh my God. Like, how did you achieve all of that?
Yeah, it's very simple. That is what I do tell people. Number one is I number one thing that I will tell people is that I make a lot of sacrifice. I'm an introvert. I don't used to go out. Uh, uh, I don't used to go out. Yeah, that is it.
Okay.
I
Thank you
don't
for
waste my
coming
time.
out today to meet us.
Yeah, I don't used to go out. Yeah, so then the tips. Yeah, is
Okay, please. The tips. Let me get
I
my notes.
okay. Okay. Uh, I personally, I am someone that um that when I was in 400 level, let me say during my 100 level days, yeah, I stay on the verge of becoming a medical doctor. Yeah, that is my passion. I want to become a medical doctor, but the situation and the system of Nigerian government, which really need decolonization, for people that are in educational system. Yeah, that is a research for you. Decolonization of the Nigerian system and the way of admitting students, based on certain criteria. So we really lack it, and we need decolonization of the system, because in the next before 2030, I'm very assured that the Nigerian system will be dilapidated. Yeah, with the way things are going now, because we are going into a situation whereby we are going.
I wouldn't like us to digress.
All right.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
like us
Okay.
to digress. So let me take you back to the question I asked.
Yeah.
How
How
are you able
the bit.
to
Okay.
publish so much? So
Yeah.
you're about to give us some tips, and I'm
Yeah.
very sure. Please, who else is with a pen? I have my notes. I have my pen. I'm ready to take down tips. Who else is
So,
ready? Please let's know.
as I said before, number one thing that you should do is, what is your specialty? What do you really love to do? Like, what is your specialty? What do you really love to do? It's very, very important. Knowing
Like
the field.
identifying your interest.
Yeah. So it's very important. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah. People will ask me a lot of questions, but I know that you are going to ask me that, how did I combine chemical biology with public health? I'll still come to that, because they are going to ask that. So now the first tip is, what is your interest? Like, what is something that when they wake you up tomorrow or today, you personally will be able to talk something, you'll be able to contribute something into the field. That is very, very important, because you cannot be, or you cannot go forward in a field that is not of your interest. You will shake. That is number one. Number two tips is, you read more papers in the field, in that field. New updated paper, new contribution, new ideology, new intervention people are writing in that field.
Wow.
Now, when reading papers, I know I can teach you how to read papers, but something that I do is gap. I think most graduate students are being taught that you map out gap, you criticize a paper. Ability to criticize and map out a paper will give you a new veg of new idea of a paper that you can write, new intervention, new knowledge, new specialty you can look into, because every paper has a loophole. That is the loophole you'll be searching for, and the loophole will create a novelty that you can write on. That is number two. Then number three is of writing, which I said is very, very important, is you learn how to write. Then the another scope, yeah, the scope of how to write. Now, if you read very well, and you'll be able to extract a lot of things from what you read. Now, ability to write effectively and being able to understand what you read and reconceptualize it make you a very good researcher and a good writer. So, because if you don't have sufficient knowledge, a lot of gap knowledge in the papers you have read, and ability for you to reproduce it in a very long way, to the way you understand and the way you want to describe it, you have a lot of problem to produce quality paper, because only quality writing give a quality publication. No reviewer or no editor will publish a paper that are not of a good quality. That is number three. Number four is you have to collaborate. That is another secret. That is one of the major secrets. Yeah. So now that is what most professors do in in academics. Yeah. You see professors with thousands of publications. It's not as they are the one that sit down and do most. Yeah. But they have contribution in terms of reviewing the paper, reconceptualizing, editing, writing, rewriting, to fit in the focus journals they want to publish in. So if they don't do that, that is just most of their part. They are not the one that will sit down in the lab gathering data and all like that. That is why you see, if you enter most professor offices, you will see different, different theses, different papers on their shelves. You get. So these are how many people do. That is based on, if you are inside academics. But if you are not, you collaborate with people that are in that field. people, I will actually recommend someone more bigger than you. Yeah, not someone lower than you. Because if you have someone lower than you will be affected. That's the problem. So how will you be affected? You'll be affected based on the level of both of your level of exposure. So there are some loopholes that someone that is higher than you will map out. There's someone that is lower than you will map out. Because someone that is lower than you will be disturbing. You will have that very enthusiast. Oh, let's go and publish. That is not how they published. Yeah, it is a process. So you find a higher collaborators in higher places, and that is why there are some papers that are published in a paid journals that there are thousands of dollars. I don't contribute to $1 there. Yeah, there are collaborators that paid for it. Are you getting me? So, but you cannot entice
You
collaborators.
contribute your strength, you contribute your
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
so if you're a
So
young scholar, that is one tip. That is another tip.
yeah.
Collaborate with people. Find your interest. Yeah. Learn how to write. Learn how to do research. Learn how to collaborate and collaborate with people who can cover you. Let me use the word.
Yeah, I will tell you, there is something about collaborator also. If you want to collaborate with high people, there is something that I will tell people. First thing to notice, they don't collaborate based on if you don't have quality paper. Number one is they won't respond you. That is number one. Then number two, you don't collaborate with people that are not in that field because they don't have the sufficient knowledge to criticize your paper, and they won't want their paper, even if they feel like, oh, I want to help you, they won't want their name to be on the paper. That is number two. Number three is that beware. Yeah, beware of all the research ethics. Because the first thing people that are higher than you will do is that. And that first thing, if you are not mindful of it, it can crunch you forever. Because now you send the paper in and they check, they read and they find out the way of the context of the English is so destabilized, punctuation errors, grammar errors, and at the same time, the way you present your point are not even flowing. They're in contrast to each other. Then number three is that you just misplace citation, reference. And the last part is they now check for plagiarism and they find about 70, 90, and the next thing is they will just send you with the link to check that this is the paper and they can collaborate with you. Even if you rework on the paper, they will still wouldn't want to collaborate because they never wanted to trust you. That's it. The first thing about collaborator is trust. And if you can repose that, you don't have any problem. So that is part about writing. Then after you write, how do you want to publish? Yeah, because there is this secret of publication also. Yeah. If you don't have money and you don't have collaborators that have money, you find collaborators that come from low income countries. Yeah, most journals waived papers for authors that come from low income countries. And low income countries are like Afghanistan, Somalia, Niger. In Africa, we do call them landlocked country that does not share border with ocean. Zimbabwe, Zambia. You collaborate with these people, and these people should be a corresponding author. So when they are talking to the editor, they will tell them that, oh, I'm from low-income countries. You can have a very argumentative point to convince the editor that you can pay money. That is yeah, that is one point. Second point is you collaborate with people that have funding. That is people that can give you fund. That is professionals. But if you want to do that, you have to have a very high quality paper in their feed. Something that will intrigue them, don't that will treat them. Like citing an example, I have a professor, is a director for Institute of Nanotechnology in Austria. So I have a paper on shaping nanotechnology into cancer therapy. So, and what I said, oh, I have this paper, let me see it. When he saw it, he was like, wow. He checked the first thing you do is grammar and the plagiarism. Then he saw and he doesn't see anything. Then the next thing is that, oh, let me make comment. Then after he make comment, you know, the paper is under one of the biggest journal in the review on cancer therapy. And these are what we can do. Because their name on your paper say a lot. Yeah. Collaborating with people that have already been established, professors that have already been established in a field, go a lot in your future. Because when you are talking in the future and someone is arguing with you or somebody is querying you or someone is saying that, how do you come up with this paper? Like, I don't only come up with paper. This so person have this so in this paper. They can't even challenge you, because if they want to challenge you, they challenge everybody in the paper. So there is another thing. Another third thing in publishing in the paper is, I'll give you a sample. I write a research. I think one of my collaborators was the year. I think I write a research on, we write a research on malaria vaccine and in Africa. So, and one of my collaborators sent it to one of the biggest journal in vaccine. And it really shocked me when I saw the response from the reviewer, because in my life, I would never thought of even having a vaccine paper. Are you getting me? And send it to such a journal, because I always fear that it will always be rejected. But unfortunately, I sent it to the journal and I was shocked. It was accepted. Wow. That is something about understanding what journal wants. What does one journal want? You have to understand what a journal wants. If you can gain the secret of what a journal wants. There are some journals that their response time, their first response to you in their review doesn't even take a week. I've published a paper that within 3 days, it gets accepted in a very big journal, a Q1 journal.
Please, can you mention the name of the journal, at least just one, so that our viewers can benefit? This session is designed to give value, at least, even if it's one thing we can take home. Just one that you can publish within 3 days.
Yeah, part of the journal is Journal of Medical Virology, and it's a big journal in impact factor of 2.3. And if you have a quality work, the editor are ready to make a review more faster than rapid. And people might say, in academic world, I might see so many people that have said, oh, I have my own review that takes more than a year. That's usually the
case. That's usually the case.
Yeah, an argument. This is the argument that has been based. Now, your mode of field of study is different. Every field of study has their own field of rapid review. The way people review, there are some papers that it to review rapidly. It takes time. And there are some papers that they are so direct. And part of those papers that are direct are papers like letter, commentaries, perspective. That is secret.
Thank you. That was what I was waiting for. You don't only publish field research or empirical papers. You can publish letters, commentaries.
Yeah, you can publish commentaries, you can publish
that's a hack.
Perspective. They don't have long time to review. They have a shorter time to review because the word count are less.
Wow.
So the reviewer doesn't have, when you write a paper of 1,500 words, the reviewer will be able to read it within some weeks, some months. You'll be able to respond back. Month. That is month, a month. Within the month, the response.
Please, if you're getting value from this session, let's know in the comments. Share Academic Hive to your friends. Let people know that something interesting is going on here. This is not something you get to hear every day. This is something that people pay money. Yeah, we have a paid consulting session, so people pay us to get to hear this thing. But here we are giving it free. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, another thing entirely is that there are some journals, you have to understand the mode at which the journal work. There are some journals now that I have in the next 2 to 3 years now. I think if you submit there, your paper will just be hanged. So another thing for you to understand that is go to a journal, download the papers, check when the paper was received, when it was accepted, and when it was published. That is when you are going to know the time in which your papers can use, the time frame your paper can use, so that you can just go and submit to any out journal and your paper is using like close to millions of years. And that is why I asked a question one day that why is it that you might have an idea, not only you are working on the idea, it will shock you that
A lot of people.
another person go to another journal that is very rapid and went to publish that idea, and you'll be like, oh, they stole my idea. They don't steal your idea. It's just like I'm here with
It doesn't act on in time. The difference was time.
yeah, time limit. Yeah. So researchers also work on time. Like citing an example, now I have one of my researcher that my research partner I've already worked on the work. The work is on Marburg virus. Is the first virus issue in Africa, West Africa. Let's first of its case in West Africa. And then one of my research partner, after the work has even been accepted. I get me. He just said, have you seen so issue? Can we write on it? I was like, I've already written on it. It has accepted for.
I can imagine how that would sound.
Yeah, you get. So, that is how the step is. Unless he has something you want to add, maybe Marburg virus and Ebola virus in the midst of, it changed the narration. I get it. So unless it will just be self-plagiarism, and in which the author or the journal might not know, and there will be a conflict of interest. And that is why it is recommended for everyone that is on the line or anyone that will be watching, if you are a reviewer, you need to cross-check what you are reviewing, if it is available, so that there are some editor that doesn't have time to cross-check it. They will just act based on the reviewer comment because they know that the reviewer has sufficient criticism. So you need to check. You cross-check the link if there is something available that people have already worked on or this work that have already been submitted, so that there won't be like, oh, this journal went to go and publish something that have already been published before. Didn't they look it? They may not be aware. But as a reviewer, you need to cross-check if there is something available so that you can draw the attention of the author. That is the situation whereby that is a lapses of some reviewer and editor. That is when they went to go ahead and be publishing some falsification of data. Now, pictures, you falsify pictures, you falsify tables and all like that. They wouldn't know because they don't cross-check. They only just review the paper like a layman and their experience in that field.
So that's okay. So we've really said a whole lot, and this is almost going to be 6:15. I would like us to wrap this up as much as possible. I know very well that you have a lot in your storehouse of knowledge to dish out. But guess what? We will be bringing up Abdullahi in the upcoming research bootcamp. The research bootcamp will be coming up in the last 2 weeks in October. So, but watch out for the promotion. We'll be opening applications for the Academic Hive Research Bootcamp from Monday. The Research Bootcamp is designed to teach African scholars how to do research. We have listened to Abdullahi Aborode. We've seen all the beautiful things he has to say. He has told us some of the hacks. Publish really early. You don't have to publish full research papers. You can publish letters, publish commentaries. These are templates, they are samples we'll be providing to participants of the research bootcamp. A lot of good come out from our bootcamp, and trust me, I don't know if you would want to see Abdul in the bootcamp, but I'm sure we are going to work towards that. Abdullahi has a lot to deliver, and he has to give us more from his warehouse. But because of time and because of some of our data, we'd like to stop here for today. But just before we go, Abdullahi, so in about 2 words, or 2 sentences rather, what advice do you have for young Africans interested in research and academic publishing? I know you've said a lot, but maybe it's some kind of recap. Just give a recap.
Right. The advice I will make a recommendation that I do and I do say always, all the time. And if you take through that step, you won't have a problem. Yeah, you wouldn't have any problem. And anytime you have a problem, you're able to bounce back because that is you. And that is what you have. That is what you stand for. Number 1 is know what you are doing. It's very important. Yeah, what is the benefit of publishing a paper or you're writing a paper that you don't even know, you don't have idea of? And somebody is asking you a question in that feed and you look like a moron, you know. Yeah, then that will be questioning your integrity. How come you come up with all this? Know what you stand for. Don't just jump on paper. Don't just jump as a collaborator. Understand everything about what you want to do. Know what you stand for.
Hmm. Okay, so we just lost Abdullahi, but I'm happy that just before we lost him, he has given us something. Identify your research interest. Identify your research interest. So that is what Abdullahi was trying to say. I'm sure he's going to come up again because he may have one more advice to give. But like we said, please follow Academic Hive for African Scholars. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah, if you're out of Nigeria. You can find us on different social networks. We are committed to growing a strong breed of African researchers. We want something that tomorrow Africans can leave their footprints in the sand of research. We can make a statement. We are growing strong African research scholarship. So if you are interested in this, if you're part of this, so please always stay connected to us. And hopefully Abdullahi should be able to join us soon again. If he can't, I want to say thank you from our heart, Abdullahi, for making this session insightful and interesting. Like I said earlier, my name is Julia John Yang, and I'm the co-founder of Academic Hive for African Scholars. And every month we bring you some interesting sessions like this. Stay connected to our Facebook page as well. You'll be seeing updates on opportunities that are open for scholars. You'll be seeing tips on research. Follow us on LinkedIn, you will see a lot of things. Follow us on Instagram, you see a lot of daily research tips, tips for international students who are doing research or who are interested in going out to research. So these are interesting things. And most importantly, you can be the next young scholar. Can your research story inspire Africans? Then Academic Hive gives you a platform to project your story. Maybe not your story, maybe that of your friends. So feel free to recommend a scholar. Feel free to nominate a scholar. The link is showing right now on your screen. Nominate a young scholar. Go to Academic Hive for African Scholars. Go to academichive.com and then you will see nominate a young scholar. So feel free to do that and you may just be next. So thank you for joining us. Follow our page on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Academic Hive. And you can reach out to our young scholar on LinkedIn at first. His name is Abdullahi Aborode. You can find him on LinkedIn. So thank you so much for joining in. Bye.